Twitter pic, please. Very enjoy yourself.
Untitled one, Mark Farnsworth, Jimmy Clark, Mark Farnsworth, Jimmy Clark, team 1-1. Untitled 9, Jimmy Carney, Ipswich. Jimmy Carney, Ipswich, team 9. On number 8, Greg Batten, Ben Davis. Greg Batten, Ben Davis, to the late. Table 17, John McAllister, Will McCarthy. John McAllister, Will McCarthy on 17. John McAllister. Mm-hmm. next match on table 10, George Shepherd, Harry Irwin. George Shepherd, Harry Irwin, table 10. Table number 7, Clint Ianson, your rainbow. Clint Ianson, your rainbow, table number 7. On table number 4, Gaz Higgins after that. Gaz Higgins after that, table 4.
Well, morning everyone. Well, afternoon now. So, welcome to St James's Park for the final day of action in the amateur and professional events. And well, it's been a pretty good weekend so far. Hope you've enjoyed all the action we brought you, and for those that are here or have been here, hope you enjoyed the setup and the event. And but plenty more action to come. Two great players on show now: Adam Brown, Simon Ward. Simon, obviously well established, frequent winner on the IPA, and Adam Brown, who's new into the pro ranks, but beginning to make a name for himself. So I'll try and keep you updated throughout the day of what's been going on. I can tell you that Mark Boyle has been beaten in the amateur event by Gary Clark, I think it was. So his reign of dominance in the first two events has come to quite a sudden, abrupt end. If you want to keep up with the amateur scores, if you can do it through the IPA website. So there's the quick links on the home page, or you can just go direct to www.qscore.com, and you'll see it there. So the amateur and pro events. It'll be updated as we're going throughout the day. One or two questions about the tour and the costs, etc. So we haven't announced anything for next year yet, apart from the 32 new player places that we offered up. Most of which have gone, I think. Probably about 7 or 8 left, I think. So if you do want to secure your spot for next year to guarantee your place, you can do that through the IPA website. Again, on the home page you'll see the advert. Just click on the advert and it'll take you to the details, and then to the shop. So you get that deposit is refundable once the dates are agreed. If if it transpires that you've paid the deposit and you can't make 3 of the dates, then we'll give you a full refund, no problem. So if you do want to secure that, that's the way to do it. What will happen is with about 240 players this year, and as in any year, you'll get 30, 40, 50 will automatically just drop off for various reasons. So those 180, 190 odd that are left are all guaranteed a place for next year, which is obviously the bulk of the spots. So those 32 players who secure their spot through the sort of early bird entry that I just mentioned, that'll probably bring us up to virtually full capacity. There may be 1 or 2 available after that, but that'll be it. I think there will be quite a high retention rate for next year. There we go. So that's the brief details. We've not finalised the entry fees, but it's not going to be much difference than what it was this year. So for new players, it was $470. So at worst, it's going to be $480. So it's not going to be anything more than that, I wouldn't have thought. And then the hotel costs will be on top of that, of course. It's 90. Asking me now. I think it's £96 for a twin per person per event for the 2 nights. Again, it's not going to change much from that. Depending on what the final room rates coming from the venues, it might move £1 or £2, but nothing more than that. So in total, it's probably about its best part of £900, £1,000 in total. But obviously, those costs are spread over the year. It's not all payable in one go, and you've got plenty of prize money to be going up. There's around about £100,000 of prize money in total. So do well in one event, and you'll easily recover your costs. I think the important thing to mention is that whilst money is obviously an important factor, it shouldn't be the only factor. These events are also around the social side, and meeting new people, and it is an event rather than a pool tournament, if you know what I mean. So that's what we try to make it. That's why we come. The venues are really important to us. So it's all part of that experience. That the feedback that we get is that people like. So, but we will release the dates hopefully within the next 2 weeks, and then the full details, the full announcements will be at Tour 4, which is beginning of August. But there's a lot of people who need to sort of book holidays with work and what have you, so we're going to get the dates out first, share them with all the national bodies and associations, so they can work together with us, and so ensuring that there's no clashes. Right, if there's nothing on Q-Score, now Q-Score's a bit of a funny site, so the easiest way, because Q-Score works by when the tournament starts, so it's just going to be looking at events that started today, but obviously both these events started either Friday or Saturday, so you can either change the date parameters on Q-Score, or simply, if you go to the IPA website, click on the live scores or the draws page. It says there's a ticker on the top that says Tour 3 draws. Click on that, and that will take you to a button that you just press, and it'll automatically bring the scores up. So I'll just explain that again if it sounded like a bit of a ramble. So on Q-Score, how it works, so when you go into the tournaments, all the tournaments listed will all be from today onwards. But because the pro events and the amateur events started earlier this week, Friday and Saturday, you need to change the date parameters on Q-Score, which is easy to do. Or if you don't want to do that, just go to the IPA website, click on the Tour 3 draw links or live scoring links that are there, and you'll see a button there for each tournament. Just click on that, and that'll take you to the right page. well, the venues. So the dates we're going to get out ASAP, as I've said, and so within the next 2 weeks, we've just got a couple that we just need to firm up on. And then the venues will be announced as normal at the 4th tour at the beginning of August. So that's when the full details and all the costs, etc., will all be officially announced. Someone was mentioning about not clashing with Catalonia. Well, certain people obviously think that we do it on purpose, but I can assure you that we don't. It's just been unfortunate that it has a couple of times, but sometimes it's out of our hands, and there's certain people have a different opinion and think we do it on purpose. I can assure you that we certainly don't. Perry, it might cost 2,000 with the amount of beer that you drink, mate. But I think a few have probably spent 2,000 this weekend in Newcastle. We've still got 1 or 2 places left for the Coventry and Heathrow events, if anyone wants to enter them. If they do, just drop us a message. You can either send it to me on Messenger, or just use the IPA Facebook page, or click on the contact us button and send us a message that way. So yeah, if you want to have a go in one of the events and thinking about next year, then come and have a go. There's certainly not many places left for Coventry. 2 or 3 maybe, unless any others drop off. I think there's a few more, maybe a dozen for the Heathrow event, but we are going to try and push that out to some of the nations. Bearing in mind it is next to Heathrow, so they may go fairly quickly. So I can only suggest that if you do want to get on board with one of the events, that the longer you leave it, what we've seen this year, the likelihood is that the spots will go, and you won't get on. So, all up to you. Peter Hill's asking, will there be another one in Cardiff next year? Well, we certainly hope so. There's just a couple of I's and to dot and a couple of T's to cross on that one. Whilst Cardiff was a great venue, really enjoyed that one. It was an absolute pain for getting the tables in and out, and a lot of you guys, when you're seeing on the stream of the tournaments, you don't always see what actually goes on behind the scenes, and some of these venues certainly give us big headaches in terms of the setup. St James's Park's been the same. To get 24 tables up one at a time in a service lift. So yeah, but Cardiff was It was a really nice hotel. Will we ever come back to Scotland with the tour? Well, we're certainly looking at it. We're looking at an option for next year. Again, that'll be announced officially if it does happen. But it is something we're looking at. Fair play to the Scottish players. There's a lot more come on board this year. Hasn't always been the case, of course, but there's certainly a lot more now. And yeah, we're certainly doing everything we can to. Well, that was a poor shot. I'm not sure if we got a kick there. Certainly doing everything that we can to get back there, because it's it is top on the list of our priorities. As you know, we are a UK tour, not just an England tour. So we've got the Cardiff event now, hopefully, and getting to Scotland is important. So fingers crossed, we'll be back. Yeah, that Mercure was in Cardiff was a really nice hotel, and really nice to commentate on like a mezzanine level. It was really good. Some great views, some great pictures. Stephen Mitzi asking what happened to the Scotland tour, why was it cancelled? Well, it wasn't cancelled, it just changed. We just changed it to this event. We had a few issues with the hotel last year that we were at. Whilst the function room venue is pretty good, the actual standard of the hotel rooms was a bit disappointing. Few of the things that we weren't quite happy with. I think they shut the bar when there was about 30 Geordies. Shut the bar at midnight when the 30 Geordies just getting warmed up. That didn't go down well. All the key card rooms on one floor didn't work, so it just wasn't a great experience for a lot of the players. So we decided to try something different, which is what we've done with this event. The biggest problem that we have with venues is finding a suitable size venue for 4 days, where they don't want to charge us a fortune for room hire, and that they've got the bedrooms available to fit everybody in. So if they've got one function on in the room on a Thursday, then that takes that venue out of the equation. So it's not as straightforward as what people think. There are a lot of venues out there, but a lot of them now want to charge, for function room hire. They might charge £2,000-3,000 a day just for room hire, and obviously, we don't have the funds for that. I was telling someone yesterday, we got a quote from Chelsea Football Club to do a similar type event there, and they wanted £11,166 plus VAT per day for room hire. So we had a little think about that, but just decided against it in the end, because it would have actually meant no prize money for the year. So I didn't think that would go down too well. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an extreme one, but I think it just demonstrates the point that getting suitable venues is not as easy as what people think. I think it's fair to say as well that the Scottish players didn't that the Scottish players were not 100% on board with the IPA. in previous years. They certainly supported the Scottish event, but that was it. You know, they weren't prepared to venture outside of Scotland. But you know, it's great to see, like I said earlier, that there are more players on board now. So even more of a need to get back into Scotland. Coventry Tour, I think, top of my head, is 11th to the 13th of August. Frustration there from Simon. You often see that. And the last tour, 29th of September, I think. Yeah, Heathrow. It's the last weekend in September, first day of October for Heathrow. Yeah, someone asking when I'm going to win a pool tour. Probably when there's only me entering it. Is the answer to that one? We're looking across the board in Scotland. It's not a massive choice, to be honest, but not overly precious on what city, but just as long as it's the right venue and ticks all the boxes that we want for us as organisers and for the players. So. Generally, the hotels, you know, in Glasgow and Edinburgh, will charge, you know, pretty significant room function rates. You know, 2,000-3,000 it just seems to be the normal. So you can imagine if you've got the venue from Thursday to Sunday for 4 days, you know, 10,000-12,000 is not uncommon. Unless it's Chelsea Football Club, of course, and that's 12,000 a day. So Adam chalks another one up. So again, just a reminder, if anybody wants to secure a space for either Coventry or Heathrow, or for both, just send us a message and we'll reply back to you. Can't say it'll be today. But we'll get back to you in the next day or so and get that sorted for you. Entry is £130, so that gets you entry into both the open and amateur events. You're not obliged to stay at the hotel as you're only entering a couple of events, but obviously if you want to, you can, which you would book through the IPA shop. Coventry, it's the Doubletree Hilton, great hotel, and the Heathrow one is at the Heston Hyde Hotel, another big hotel just outside Heathrow, and great function room. So it should be a good event. James Mitchie, yes, I think we would. if it's the right venue, as I said, we would travel. So yeah, if you can send us some quotes, drop me an email at IPAchairman.com. Sorry, IPAchairman@sky.com. And yeah, we'd definitely look at that. So I've been asked to do a fancy for the future out of this year's new tour entrants. Well, obviously Boyle's a standout performer this year. So bypassing the obvious. Well, where do you start? There's so many good players. Certainly in terms of the new professionals, I'm a big fan of Adam Brown who's playing now, and not just because he's moved to Leeds, where I live, but I do think he looks a class act, and I think over the next couple of years we could see him going deep regularly in tournaments. But well, where do you start? I mean, I could probably name 50 names, you know, in the amateurs who are professional standard players. For me, and as a fan of pool, I just think it's really exciting time for the sport, and as fans of the sport, and to see how it's developing, and hopefully how it continues to develop over the next few years. Because the standard, we go on about it, but the standard is ridiculous. The standard is ridiculous. I'm not interested in the debate whether the standard is better on this tour or that tour. I can only comment on this tour. The standard is great, and I think it's just great as pool fans that we get to see these guys try and bash each other up on a regular basis. Although obviously I'd like it to be on a more regular basis. But I think pool and Blackball is the winner. Yeah. So, someone asking about the prize money. I think all the professional is paid down to last 16, I think, and the open and amateur are paid down to last 32. So £3,000 the winner of the open. What's the winner of the amateur get? Is it either 1,000 or 1,200? I can't remember now. And the winner of the pro gets 2,200, I think. So win one, get your money back, easy. Couple of good runs, and get yourself in. Now then,
company for you.
Have you just got up?
Well, maybe not just got up, but I've certainly taken the morning. It was a long and late night last night.
Was it? Well, I left you about 3:30.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was sometime after 4, but not too bad. not too much longer, but 4 was late enough. It
Yeah.
was daylight, I know that.
Was it? Well, I did have to go early because I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did have a match
You did.
this morning.
So should we talk about how you got on?
No,
Okay.
no, let's not bother. Let's move on very swiftly. So another one for Adam, 6'4", he's hanging in there. Big frame. If he can just get this one, then it'll be his break potential. 6-all.
So how's this match gone? Have you done the whole match?
No, I've not done the whole match. No, I just came in when Simon was a bit ahead. He got a bit frustrated in one of the frames. Did Simon?
You don't see that too often with Simon. He's normally got a very good temperament, or certainly outwardly he has. He may get annoyed, but he doesn't tend to show it too often.
No. So, don't know if you know, Mr. Boyle got beaten in the amateur.
Did he? Who was that by?
I think it was Gary Clark.
Gary Clark. Okay. Yeah, I just passed him on the way in actually, so I assumed he was out because he was off. But yeah.
Yeah, Mark Farnsworth has just pumped my victor, Jamie Clark. That puts him in the quarters.
Okay, so he marches on for his hat trick.
Yeah.
So we've still got one hat trick alive.
Yeah. I think where Clint's playing, he's going to have a say in that one.
Yeah, Clint for the double. That's definitely a chance. He was impressive yesterday. He really was. So clinical.
Yeah, I thought his cue ball control was absolutely top draw.
Yeah, definitely. The way, you know, he would have been a big favourite for that final, and he handled that really well. With really clinical play, but for me, the bit that impressed me the most was the way he finished off the semi-final. From being 4-1 up to going 6-4 down. You know, you could have forgiven him for being a bit frustrated and upset, but you know, he held his head together and he played. I'm going to say he played shot of the tournament, which would have been a safety shot, a little roll-up safety shot that turned the tables from him being a massive underdog for the frame and match to leaving Ben. I wouldn't say no shot, but Ben took about 5 minutes to find a shot that just gave Clint the opportunity. It still required 2 good pots and a skill shot, but yeah, it was. And then the 2 frames to win it were absolutely fantastic finishes. So just really impressive.
Yeah, a couple of people just asking about Boyle. Yes, he's been beaten in the amateur. Gary Clark, very good player from Ireland. So you can't even really say it's a shock. I mean, I know Boyle's playing well, but you know, there's so many great players out there.
That's it. I've got no doubt. My opinion on Mark Boyle is I think he's one of the best players in the world.
Oh, I don't even miss cue to that one. He's thrown himself at that one.
I don't think I've ever seen Simon miss a ball so easy before. That's incredible. It's not had the worst result in the way it's been left. It's tough for Adam here, but yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, I think Mark's one of the best players in the world, but you know, I don't regard that as a shock at all. You know.
James Mitchie, thanks a lot. I'll get back to you on that one. Yeah, Mark and Clint probably are the 2 players to beat, but don't forget there's a certain Craig Marsh, world champion, still in.
Yeah, and Simon Ward showed some form yesterday, and it'd be no surprise, you know, he may be making a couple of mistakes here, but you know, when he gets deep in tournaments, he goes close to winning them. So plenty of players that can win. That's
a bit unlucky there. That's landed. Didn't quite agree with the shot, but still unlucky how that's. I've been asked to pick the 2 amateur finalists. Well, when Bebby comes back with my iPad and I can see the draw, I thought we'll have a go at that one.
I don't know if Corey Reese is still in, but I always look for Corey Reese's results in the amateur. I think he's a fantastic player and one of the best young players in Wales, and what he's doing in Welsh pool at the moment, you know, he could have a claim for being one of the best players in Wales, and that's a mighty claim when you've got players like Craig Marsh, Ben Davis and Simon Ward there. But he's you know, he's winning tournaments, and I expected big things from him this year, so he would have been my tip for the title before the tournament started, and I think he was a fairly generous price as well. Having said all that, he's probably out. We haven't seen any results from today, so
no. No, there's still a lot of quality players in that amateur event.
Is last night's finalist still in? Is Michael Peel?
I've not seen him.
No.
Not seen him. Great effort for Peely, the real Peel, as they were calling him last night.
Yeah, I thought he was absolutely brilliant to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed the way he went about his clearances. Very entertaining, very quick, very attacking, and had a very carefree air of sort of almost cockiness, but really not in a rude or arrogant way. Just really enjoyable to watch. A really pleasing matches he played in.
So we've got some last 16 score updates in the pro event. Mark Farnsworth, who said he's secured his place with an 8-0 victory over Jamie Clark. He obviously burnt himself out.
Yeah, you obviously did burn him out.
So Jimmy Carney and Aidan Finch, is that a bit of a local derby?
It is a local derby. They travel to tournaments together. So
yeah. Steady on, Paul. Steady on, Paul.
He's only won one frame, Paul.
He's sticking all sorts of numbers on here.
You can't see it, but Bebby's trying to give Simon the win already. I know you're Welsh, Bebby, but you're not supposed to have any favourites here.
He's obviously getting his next match lined up. So Jimmy Carney and Aidan Finch, 2-all. Winner plays Mark Farnsworth. Then the next two matches, Greg Barton and Ben Davis. Currently 6-2 Ben Davis. So the winner of that plays the winner of the match on screen. So we could have another Welsh battle there.
Just looking at the rest of the scores, do you think that's a potential for it to go back onto the stream, is it? Because that might be the next match available.
It could well be.
Yeah.
Then the bottom half of the draw, we've got last night's winner, Clint Jansen. He's 2-up against Neil Raybone. The winner of that plays the winner of Rob Donkin, Craig Marsh. Currently 2-1 to Marsh. And the last two matches, Jordan Shepherd, Harry Irwin, locked at 4-all. And the bottom match is John McAllister, Ronan McCarthy, and Ronan is 3-1 up. So looking at that, the next match on the stream, if it goes to plan, if Ben Davis gets a move on, if he starts to play a bit quicker,
yeah,
we'll have Ben Davis, Simon Ward on.
Yeah, assuming those matches finishing soon, because both of them are close to victory, then yeah, that would be the next match available. All the other matches look like they've got a fair bit of mileage in. So.
Can we get some updates for the amateur, Paul? Are you feeling you've got a bit of time on your hands? So we'll just get the latest amateur scores, and Paul is just going to have a little wander around, and then we'll review the amateur and see how that's...
We can give you the last 16 lineup, because we've got the draw in front of us, but Bebby's going to get the scores for those last 16 matches. So
last 16 in the amateur, we've got Jake Newlove, who's playing Matty Challen.
Matty Challen is defending champion, as he won the event when it was played as a Scottish Open last year.
So the winner of that plays, we don't know yet, because that's waiting to be filled. Then Scott Gillespie is playing Dan Ayling. Winner of that plays the winner of Declan Lavery and Gary Clark, that's an all-Irish battle. Then the bottom section, we've got Cole Bedford, who's having some good results this weekend. Not sure who he's playing yet. Then Gaz Higgins, he's playing Arfandad. And the last two matches, Craig Brown, who's... I've not seen him play, but I've heard some good reports about him.
I saw him for a couple of frames yesterday, and a very confident player. I think he beat Jimmy Croxton on the table next to me.
So. Right. So he plays the winner of G. Crawley and Lee Hansen. And then the last match is Brian Halcrow, who's making a return to the IPA this year, and he's playing Ian Alley. So some big names there. So we'll just see if we can get the scores updated, and then we'll make our predictions.
Yeah, I noticed my prediction without seeing any scores isn't in the last 16. He may be in the last 32, but we haven't seen that. But
Dave could just scroll up a touch. We might just be able to see. He's busy doing chatting business.
Busy producing. So Adam needs to win 4 frames on the trot to continue his run, and has a chance here. It doesn't look like this yellow goes, but he's played on it this way, so I'm assuming it must go. But may have been tight. It's a tricky finish for this Simon. He's not really been left anything. This isn't very inviting. Two big problem balls. But he's very, very aggressive, so I do expect him to try and find the finish.
Yep, absolutely. He'll be looking to be creative, as these Welsh boys generally are.
I wonder how much angle he's got on the red below the black. Camera 3 kind of shows he's obviously a 3/4 ball, so if he was a fraction more, he may have been able to get into that top left-hand corner somewhere, but he'd have to really power this.
Or do you want to leave a cross double and send the white up and try and skill?
He did try and power up into that area, and it's not ideal. He's obviously on the one into the right middle, but he's still got the problem with the 2 at the top of the table.
Can he put this one in the bottom right, screw back and just play a skill shot?
Although the way he's looking, I'm wondering if the one at the top of the table slides past the yellow. It doesn't look like it will, but it might just do. We can pop this to the bottom right and screw back. Maybe pop the yellow over the pocket. Oh no, he's going to screw back and miss the yellow and try and get into the red on the rail.
Has he got the angle for? I'm not sure he's got the angle for that, has he?
So
Can't quite tell from where we're sat.
I think that's what he was looking at, to screw back and catch just the top cushion just to the right of the yellow, come down side cushion and cannon that red out. And if the top red goes, then he's got to have a chance.
Wow,
like that.
what a shot.
So
What
that's
a shot.
Great shot.
So that is the nature of Blackball there in those couple of shots. You know, he looked dead and buried when he came to the table, and with that one shot, he's now giving himself to win the match, giving himself a chance to win.
He's had a good look at this red, and it obviously does go. So one good pot, and he becomes favourite for the frame, and the frame he needs to win the match.
And that's in.
Needs that to pull up. Needs the white to pull up.
He's fine. And this is why he's one of the best players in the world.
When he came to the table, that looked like there was 2 balls that didn't go. Obviously, the top one did go, but that looked tricky, and he's found a way to make it work. He's got a bit of angle on this, but I think he can just hold.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, he can roll through and take the black into the left centre as well. I think he can just control the white, just hold it to the right of where it is now.
Yeah, judged it well. And this black for the match. And there it goes. Well played,
So that
Simon Ward.
Put Simon into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, let's get him in the box.
Get him in the box, and potentially an all-Welsh battle. Ben Davis was 6-2 up in his match. So, and Simon will play the winner of that match.
We need to get the red microphone from over there.
Away for the Ben Davis match. That's nearly finished myself.
Can you hear us? Yep. We can't hear Simon yet. Can we hear Simon?
Yep.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear him now. Well played.
Well played, yeah.
Thank you.
Little signs of frustration in the middle of that match. Was a couple of things not quite going your way, do you think?
Yeah, I felt I was playing pretty well. I was losing a bit of concentration. I had a kick to go, I think it might have been 6-2, which sort of brought Adam back into it, but then I missed an easy red on the rail in the same frame. But I felt I was playing pretty well. I just lost a bit of concentration in the middle, that's all, when I was starting to really find some form.
I was going to say, you seem to have been hitting the ball a lot better this weekend. Have you put a bit more practice in, or have you less babysitting duties?
To be honest, I've had a pretty busy week this week, so I was intending to play quite a bit, but I've only had an hour or two. I managed to have a couple of hours up here on Friday. But yeah, from the off, I played pretty well all the way through. I'd say my worst match so far this weekend was the semi-final last night. But apart from that, I played pretty well.
How do you find the disappointment of making it as far as the semi-final and not going on to win and then having to start again this morning? Do you find that fairly easy, or is it you take the positives that you must be playing well to make a semi?
Yeah, strangely, I sort of felt pretty confident coming into today.
Yeah.
I thought I played pretty well yesterday. I mean, you're bound to have a bad match. Unfortunately for me, it was in the semi-finals, so if it had been earlier on in the tournament, I may still have won, and I may have gone on. So I'm playing pretty well, to be honest. Probably best I've played for a while. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next round.
Okay, you've got the winner of Ben Davis. Who was Ben playing?
It was
Greg Batten, I think.
Greg Batten.
Yeah, it was 6-2 up.
6-2 up. So potentially an all-Welsh battle. You must have had many matches against Ben, but I guess you
we've
don't
played hundreds of times.
Hundreds of times. You practice
probably this week.
Do you practice a bit with Ben as well?
Not really. No, he tends to practice in the day, and I'm working. But obviously, we used to play a lot together. We know each other's games inside out.
Yeah. So
Have you played Adam before?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah. He. I don't know what you think, but obviously he's a new professional this year, and we've not seen much of him because he's not been to all the events with things that have been going on. He's been moving and all that sort of stuff. I think he
got married.
Crazily got married,
yeah.
But he looks like he could be certainly a top 8 player to me.
Yeah, he played pretty well. I think he was a bit unlucky off his breaks. He doesn't hit the balls that hard off a break, really. So I was getting sort of first chance in most of the frames, so I was able to sort of pull away. But he didn't really make that many mistakes, apart from when he was quite far behind. It's always tough then to sort of claw your way back into it, I suppose.
Yeah, he has impressed me, I must admit. The couple of times I've seen him play, I think he's certainly one over the next couple of years who could break through into very top. Time will tell, of course, because there's so many.
You probably said that about quite a few. Yeah,
I said that about myself about 20 years ago. So yeah. But what do you think of the venue, Simon? Have you enjoyed?
Yeah, I think the venue was great.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, really good. Obviously, it's massive. Loads of space on the tables. I really like the sort of the gallery above the TV table where the bar is. There's always like a pretty big crowd there.
Not today.
No, not today.
Everyone's still in bed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the atmosphere last night was really, really good.
Yeah,
especially because obviously I played one of the local lads, and he had a lot of support. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, but they're giving you a bit of bird whilst you were playing.
Yeah, just a bit, but still getting used to it.
Right. Well, thanks for your time, Simon.
No problems.
Best of luck in the next round.
You might be on very quickly, because if Ben's if he wins in the next sort of 5 minutes, I presume you'll be back on here. So
great. Okay, excellent.
So we'll hopefully see you again too.
Cheers.
Thanks, Simon. So where's Bebby with my iPad?
Bebby looked like Bebby was coming over. We could have updated you on the amateur scores, or he has updated the amateur scores. We can see some of them.
And we can, yes. So Matty Challenge 5-3 up on Jake Newlove. Scott Gillespie 3-2 up on Dan Ayling. Gary Clark